What I want to do after this, I want to try to put it into a neural network. I'm going to take pictures of the drone flying. So I'm going to train this thing. I'm going to teach it what a drone is and what a drone is not. And then as it flies over my detector, I can take real-time images and detect at that point if it's a drone flying or not. And then as I get them right, I'll keep teaching it or get it wrong until I work it out to where it's accurate enough. This is what I want to do at the end game. So I want to put a detector out there, fly this thing over, either use the neural network, detect it, and so if it's coming in, at this angle, the sentry will swing in that direction. And as soon as it passes over it, it'll detect movement and then just start firing and see if I can knock this thing out of the sky. Maybe it's a bit ambitious, but it beats throwing rocks at it. And where I live, they shoot them down with shotguns. So I'm in Northeast Maryland, by the way. So, all right. So I mean, if somebody has this type of background, electrical engineering, computer science, or you're just interested in the project, see me afterwards. I'd like to talk to you about it. I'll take any questions. Anybody have any questions for me?
Yeah. What's your objective?
My objective?
I mean, just by, to me, knowing that a drone's there, what do I want to do with it? Is it in an airspace that it's not supposed to be in, number one? What's the distance? If I wanted to jam it, there's methods of jamming it through the frequencies. So what am I going to accomplish by knowing that a drone is even present?
Well, I mean, I think the first step in the process is detection. I mean, wouldn't you agree?
I would agree. I'm not saying that's detection, but just to know that it's there when I could get a visual on it. Okay. My concern would be more of the airspace that it's in currently, and what danger does it pose to other aircraft. Being a pilot, I would of course be concerned with impact.
Sure.
So why do I really want to know the string's even there?
Well, we're right in the conversation of I started with a three-letter agency, right? So I mean, that's my interest, right? In trying to detect drones in airspace they're not supposed to be flying in.
Right.
I mean, the practicality of mounting sensors all over a property, I mean, I don't know. I would have to keep trying it to see. But my end goal is to detect them. If I can do something with them, I mean, they have things now that I believe it shoots out of a shotgun. It looks like what am I thinking of? Well, I mean, it's a gun, yeah. But it has like a net around it that you can shoot it and capture the thing down. I don't know how realistic that would be, but from an automatic perspective. But yeah, I mean, ultimately, I'd love to detect it and knock it down.
So did you get any further than 20 feet? I know those are three intervals you listed, what, like 2 feet, 6 feet, and then 20?
I couldn't. I'm not that tall to do that. So
not even the drone.
I know. Well, I couldn't hold the thing up any higher than that without it falling down on me. So next time I'm going to stand on my deck and try to see how high I can fly it and still detect.
Because range is definitely going to be a limitation. At my old job, we did drone photography for construction sites. We used DJI Mavic. Now the legal height limit for that is 400 feet, but usually for construction site I'd be around 200, 300 feet up, which is a lot higher than 20. And honestly, you can't even see it or hear it from up there.
Sure. So what I plan to do, I mean, if it ever turned into something, I think mounting sensors at different heights. So I mean, they could be in trees, they could be on flagpoles, they could be mounted at different heights, pointed in different directions to catch them coming in or leaving.
While the legal height limit is 400 feet, realistically, the one I had, which was like a mid-range drone, I think it's like $1,200. DJI makes up like 10,000, like the professional ones for film crews. The one I had could go like, it was like a quarter-mile up.
Oh yeah.
So range is absolutely going to be a concern.
Sure.
Absolutely. Microphone will get you.
Yeah, no, it will. It definitely will. I mean, that's just something I'm going to have to deal with. And like I said, this is just a solution. It isn't the end all, be all. But it's the start. To try to detect these things. Now, some people are using frequency to try to detect this thing coming in, right? That's a hard thing to do live, right? Because then how do you react to that live? So you catch the frequency that it's on, and you could triangulate it. That's definitely doable. It takes a lot of processing power to be able to do that. Any other questions?
Did you do any other tests with other drone models to see if the characterization of the tones that you were getting with the microphone were the same?
I have 10. I tried 2 other ones. That was the Mambo. I tried the Parrot, and I have a DJI.
And they were spiking at the same spots?
Right around the same. It wasn't exact, but it was close. Yeah.
So apart from jamming the frequencies, I mean, based on your research, are you saying that ground-based radar systems don't have the capability to detect these drones?
I don't think they do. I don't think they can detect something that small. I mean, these things are pretty small. I mean, the parrot's about 16 inches square, so it's, that's pretty good size, but I don't even think it's possible to detect that. But the mambo's about a third of that size.
Yeah, I haven't done a lot of range testing on it or anything, because I'm still kind of a horrible quadcopter pilot. But I got one by Axis, I think is the company. It's
Oh,
like
yeah,
this big.
right, I've seen it,
It's
yeah.
tiny.
Right. And does it have recording or picture taking capability?
It has a camera. I think all it does is stream live to a smartphone app that controls it.
Okay.
And then, once you've got it on the smartphone, you can pretty much do whatever you need to with it.
So that's another option I looked at to see if I could interfere. So even if the drone flies over, if it isn't taking any pictures or recording anything, I mean, outside of it flying into like a helicopter or a plane or something like that, what damage would it do? But if I could interfere with it taking a picture or the video, then I could stop its ultimate mission, right? So that,
the DJI models have pretty good range too. The Mavic had like an effective control. Well, they say 4 miles. I never got it more than like 1.5 miles.
okay.
But still, for something that's comparable in size, would you say that the Mambo is like 16?
About a third of that. So I'd say it's about 9 inches,
Yeah,
9 inches square.
It was probably closer to, the one I had was probably closer to like 14 or 15, but still something like that has a pretty impressive range.
And they fly in headless mode too, right? So you don't even need to see it.
Yeah, well,
You can just create the mission and fly.
at that range, you could, but I still prefer to, use the camera for that. And you can just use the top-down GPS display.
Okay. Yeah.
But again, what's the risk? Back to the original question, what is the risk? I mean, they're small, what damage can they cause? I mean, the ones used by the US military are big enough to be detected by radar. So these little things, I mean, what is the risk?
Yeah, so I think flying in no-fly zones is the risk, either on military installations where there's classified information or where there's aircraft and flying into aircraft. That's really the risk.
If you're doing a Wi-Fi pen test, it's a little bit more covert. You could go on top of the building and sit on top of the building.
So for intelligence purposes, okay.
Yeah, correct.
Have you thought about recording the drone just by itself to get kind of like a sound profile and then using that for that? And all your recordings, you've got background noise too. You've got basically the environment. Have you thought about just isolating so you know exactly what a drone sounds like?
So what I did was I went onto the internet, right? It's the best place to go for this. And I found I got some sound recordings already. And it sounded like the background filter was out. Now that isn't an issue, right? But I'm thinking at that height, how many things are going to really be flying? I mean, you have a bird, a couple of insects at that height, certainly planes and helicopters. So I don't know how much I have to filter out there, and they're facing up.
I just thought if it had a profile to look for among all the background noise, like, if it looks for this is what a drone looks like, and if it just looks for that among all the background, because like you said, once you get too high, all you're gonna have is static. It'll still be there, but you're not gonna be able to even see it probably.
You do.
But the computer might, like.
You do get white noise. But at 20 feet, I was starting to pick some up. So I would think like on a windy day, it's probably going to be useless because the wind, it's like blowing on a microphone, where you kind of get that weird white noise to it. So again, I mean, it does definitely have limitations. I'm sure when it rains, if there were a torrential downpour, I wouldn't be able to pick it up. So if you want to defeat the system, fly it when it's raining. I do want to point one other thing. So I'm hosting the US DroneCon this year. It's April 6th at Cecil College. It's about a half hour away from here. It's in Northeast Maryland. So if you're interested in coming by, love to have you there. If there's no more questions, thank you very much for coming. I appreciate it.
Thank you.